We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go. 10-2 star. Leo. General West. Time up. Gone. Check. He's crashing. He's checking crack.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Rock it. Hey. Hard.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Check nickel.
Running right, Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Check. Squeeze, double.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And some room to maneuver. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Fields. It's caught here by Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Hey, box truck. Mike Fopo. It's our time, guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills?
Oh,
pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point by Maher, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Sanders, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 6. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. I'm scared. 41.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how...
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Kenny Young charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Check out route.
Back to throw. Fields. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Young picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw. Fields. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Take 4, take 4.
They'll set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go. Haywood! Leo! Be Griffin!
They're going to look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
Hey, orbit. Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. On you. Go. He's coming. We got double up.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's got Miller. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
He'll look to throw. Complete to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Rock it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Mike, 53, Mike. Let's get this.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. After the broken tackle, couldn't get free for much space, taken down right at the 10. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Joseph is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Watch the shift.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Hayward. 44. Mike, 44.
From the gun, Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Running. Pittsburgh.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Throwing on first down. Fields out of the backfield. This is Aaron Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All day, baby, all day.
Go.
Mike's 50. Watch the run. Here we go. 50. Mike 50. I'm coming.
Look at me. Go.
Switch it.
2nd and 10. Keeps himself upright. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mike 50. Hey, come on now. Mike's 50.
Hey, Zoo.
I got you. Mike's 50. All right, T, let's go.
Fair. Let's go.
Looking to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him.
Marr now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
What I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. What a play that turns out to be 36 yards. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
At the 14-yard line.
Let's go now. Mike, with the flag. Woo-hoo. Shut up.
Off the play fake. Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
58, right on.
Hey, Charlie. Deep grip.
They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Go, go.
He's coming in motion. Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
foxtrot, foxtrot. Hey, Sam on. Fire.
They'll set up a throw. This is Miller, complete. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And out across midfield down to the 45. Might want to remember that third down play, 37 yards.
And the Bears first down.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
41 to Mike. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Shoot.
Back to throw. Able to find Shaheen here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's our field.
Now back to throw. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Check three, check three, check three.
Get it.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Yes, yes.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Hey, watch the slap. Watch the slap.
Hey, Alpha.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap.
Go.
2nd and 14. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Now.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20, 10, 5, and they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. It's a big play that time for the Packers, and even 70 yards. They come up in an offset eye. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Back to throw. Fields. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
I smell fear in that offense.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Yo, Chief, let's go.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Hey!
Boy, 51. Hey, let's get that play.
Hey, seam 6.
51, Mike.
Leo. Ready?
They'll look to throw here. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
37 yards. And the Bears first down.
Let's go now. 30 base.
Check. Hatchet.
Bravo.
And 58 is a Mike. Going 58 is the Mike. Come off the ball hard.
Hit it.
They'll look to throw. He's got the hookup to Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 37-yard line.
58's the Mike. 58.
Back to throw here. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
58's Mike.
The throw over the middle taken in. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
Get that quarterback,
First down,
Get
Bears.
that quarterback.
Hey, Zoo.
Get that quarterback. 41's the Mike. 41's the Mike.
On the ball. Zoo.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike.
Look at me, zipper.
Mike 41, Mike 41. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. For the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
41's the Mike, 41's the Mike.
Go.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Get it.
He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Motion. 44's the Mike. 44's the Mike. Let's go.
Hey, Foxtrot.
44, Mike, 44. Drop deep.
Hey, go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hey. High 7. Hey.
Mike 50, huh?
I got him. Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line.
18 Gators.
Just like that.
Hey, Alpha.
Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. Oh, yeah.
Ready.
They'll set up to throw. Completes it to Miller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 16 yards. A little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
His pass caught at the 4. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and the Packers pick it up. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Jones. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard
line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll look to throw. Jones has it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Green Bay, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
100-yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intent.